Hello and welcome. I am the Restless Kaiser.
I'm Johnny B.
I'm James Workshop.
I'm Jam's Mini Mods.
But together we are
Modeling for Advantage.
Modeling for Advantage.
Evening
That's the
all.
last one yet.
It really does have a delay.
Check who we got in the chat. We got Rich John is here. Nick from Team Clueless Games. How you doing, mate? Modeling for Advantage is here. And Saffron69, Gary. Hello there, Gary. Friends of General Haig. Evening all. There was some sports talk just to throw you guys a little bit. Alad is here, of course. Good evening, sir. Subs is here, and Tony Holton is here. And we are ordered. Not sure what that is a reference to, Tony, but that's the chat. Hobby-wise, I will be making an SDKFZ 250 Alta to go with the other two for my full action army in combined arms.
Another one. I'm playing with some of these Frontieris sector wall thingy.
Oh, your new present that I gave you for your not birthday.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Mr. Workshop, in 5 minutes' time, can you tell us what you're doing?
So I'm working on Curse City. I finally managed to get a copy.
All right.
It is a sprue.
Oh, yeah. Second time around.
Yeah, so Curse City.
Nice.
Yep, second time around.
Yeah, still got most of mine in the box, unfortunately, as you do.
Terrible jam. What are you doing?
Well, I was planning on painting this Death Watch dude for a kill team, but
Nice.
I can't do this whole podcasty thing and paint because I can't multitask. So I'm going to try at the most put some washes onto my Death Guard. I think I can manage that.
Nice. Washes is good.
So
you're going for Legion colors rather than modern colors as well.
Yeah, kind of like a off bonish white kind of color going on, so they're a bit grubby. So yeah,
that's the
I always like that. Yeah,
best way.
Not really a fan of the new Death Guardy green colors, to be honest. But yeah.
Well, do you know what? Before we go much further, I just want to ask the folks at home, how do you like your live streams? I'll tell you how I like mine. With jamming.
You're working on that one, weren't you?
Tell the people who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
All right, sir. So yeah, I'm Jam's Mini Mods. I have a YouTube channel where I do a lot of conversions, kit bashes, that kind of stuff. I mean, a lot of hobby stuff in general, but I focus on converting. And yeah, you can find me at Jam's Mini Mods through Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and that's pretty much it for me, really. I've not really brought out much recently. I had a bit of a hobby, I don't know what you like, gap month or something, 6 months. But yeah, I'm back at getting stuff done. So yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. And I just thought that Austin Powers little bit there. It's me in a nutshell.
It's me in a
Put you on the
nutshell.
big screen so everyone could enjoy your head for a moment.
Well, that's a weird thing.
Didn't you have like a budget Viking look last time we met, Jam?
I mean,
hair?
I don't know. Maybe. I think last time was probably mid-lockdown times. I think I had a bit of a fro going on. So
right.
Yeah, managed to have a bit of a trim. So yeah, less hobo-ish now, I guess. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
What we got? What's the agenda?
Sorry?
What's the agenda for tonight? Oh, where's James gone?
We just lost James, which threw me. Right. So we've got some pictures, but Jam's not actually done that many kit bashes since he was last on because he's had a bit of a hiatus. So if I work my way through the pictures, there's various things that I've got pictures of, which hopefully we can talk about. First, of course, is this, which I'm obviously very excited about. I've got my new German bolt action army, and it's because of the combined arms requires us to have mechanized forces with the tank pieces, and so for tank war, all your infantry have to come in vehicles. These ones are diddy and relatively cheap, so this is what I've been looking for really. It's only just been released, so I'm working on 4 of these. So that's that one. We've made a video reviewing this because it isn't an easy kit to build. I just love this photograph, so I wanted to share.
Yeah, what one's that? That's the Young Panther, right?
That is John learning about the power of the King Tiger. Yeah, that's the
nice.
face. As when you're doing the editing, you put the picture in. It's like, yeah, John doesn't play Germans. John plays British, and we talked about the stats of the King Tiger. Great moment. But we went to the expo.
Oh, mate, yeah, we did.
Very nice.
That was the first.
And Jason was there because he demos games for. Was it there with Lucky Duck, John?
He was, yeah, with Lucky Duck.
He was there with Lucky Duck, but Jason is a dear friend and a local man, especially a friend of John's. So, he showed John how to play it, and they got a little bit intimate. And then they got very intimate. And I'll just leave that there for your enjoyment for a moment.
Nice.
Some footage missing.
There are others.
You have to wait after 10 p.m. to show the rest of those.
To show the next slide. I love the fact that at the time, obviously, John's all focused on the top, whereas Jason's moving in on the bottom half there. I love that, that each one is taking a different approach. Yeah.
Yes, mate. Teamwork.
Yeah.
Nice.
Piece gone in. All right. Yeah. Did enjoy that. We also,
good day.
We met Discourse was there.
Yeah, that was completely fun. That was random, man. Looked up and there she were.
Totally random.
Walking down the street.
So you've probably seen this all over the place at the UKB. So Duncan Wasdell, who was on here a while ago, if you remember, he's got this board that he said he's commissioned Luke's APS, and he's raising money for charity, touting this board and getting YouTubers involved. He's been very good at rounding up people he's never met to run this show for him. We turned up for a day to play on it. John, the pictures have been shared all over the place. And Storm of Steel, Wargaming, if you don't see his stuff, he's covered it in great detail because he was there for the 3 days. We were just there for the afternoon, weren't we, John?
Yeah. He barely did anything. It was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. We just got some tickets to go around and play with some models. What have you ever been to the Games Expo, James? The Birmingham one.
Oh, very cool. Sorry, I'm like a minute behind you at this point. Let me just refresh.
What about Jam? Has Jam been?
I've not. To be honest, I didn't even realize it was on until I saw just social media exploding with everybody on it. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't realize everybody was going to this thing. So, yeah, I've kind of missed that somehow.
Yeah,
I mean, it is predominantly board games.
It is, but wargaming is becoming increasingly a part of it, though, isn't it? It's been interesting to see how much that has grown in the past few years. And I was on Tabletop where they're doing their sort of their live broadcast stuff, which probably has helped with part of it. Oh, James is rejoining. I would have a really fiddly bit. I'm trying to get one of the chairs in here, and it's not working so well. So if you've not been, John, what would you say to someone who's not been, who's just a war gamer? What do you reckon?
Who's just a war gamer and not been?
Yeah.
Don't get your hopes up. No, the crossover now. I'm pretty sure a lot of war gamers are very aware of the broad board game culture that is about now. So, if you're really just hardcore Games Workshop, then don't go there. Although they were there. Workshop were there.
Yeah. But see, I mean, even Rubicon were there. It was quite random. We picked up a few Rubicon bits, didn't we?
Yeah.
And
You picked me up a 1,500 weight truck.
Yeah.
And got yourself an absolutely cheesy frigging autocannon Nobleworth thing.
Yeah.
That's not what they're called, but yeah, it was all right. What to expect? Go there, have fun. There's loads of cool stuff and some miniatures. But if you're devout
And
miniatures
some
only,
miniatures, yeah.
go to Salute.
The other person we met was Annie from Bad Squiddo. She was there. She came over and we had a bit of a chat with her. And Warlord were there as well, but we talked to them a lot. But Annie was good. Having a chance to talk to her, so that she might be interested in coming on and doing some stuff with us, but she's obviously super duper busy. So let's try and catch up with the chat. What was that? Half tracks, possibly the most confusing and complicated thing in wargaming. Yeah, they are if you're not into it. The slash numbers just mean they've got a different gun. Malignant green speed paint is great for Death Guard. All right, I've not tried that one. I just use the regular one. How do they know they have a half track? Very good. Working on some Sarissa buildings from 0 to 100 hours. We have been sent. There's this Polish company makes pre-painted MDF scenery, and they've sent me a sample pack, and it looks pretty decent. They also sent me an email about 3 days later saying something's gone wrong in the factory and some somewhat defective kits have been sent out for review, and we're really sorry. If you've got one, please let us know and we'll send it back.
Oh wow! Okay.
So we're going to need to unpack that and have a little look at it. But 0 to 100 requires a lot of scenery, so that's going to be good. Pound Scorpion's best in Team Yankee. Prove me wrong. Right. Well, Team Yankee. Probably them. Nobody else knows or cares about this in the chat, do they? Here on the show. Team Yankee's got a problem in the way that it's modelled its weapons, because you've got the way the army lists work in the 75mm type smoothbore guns in light tanks were all replaced by autocannons in the 70s and 80s because it was better. Except in Team Yankee, it's not. You get a few more shots, but a 75mm smoothbore can take a tank out in the side. An autocannon can't. So I find that's a little bit frustrating, but it's the way they've modeled their rules. There's always going to be idiosyncrasies. Vehicle mounted autocannon is one of the problems. All the on tabletop crew seem to have come back from that with that COVID. Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, that's nice to know.
You're doing a Wave 6 for World of Tanks and Miniatures game. I can't remember what was in Wave 6. We're still playing. I've got up to Wave 8 now, Ruth. We buy them all. We just don't. We don't always and only play. Why is Jason talking to the owner of Jurassic Park? Me. John
selling oranges, weren't you, mate?
With that hat on, is that I should be doing a side hustle selling oranges. Yeah. Call of Odin. Hello to Jam from his fellow Wolf brother Richie. The game looks awesome. Yeah, that's that game on there, isn't it? Expo's great, but mostly board games and RPGs. Ali, did you manage to catch the shuttle bus back? Yes, mate. If you've not been there before to the expo, they tell you it's a 5-minute walk. It isn't. It's a 15-20-minute walk with all the shite you're carrying with you if you're doing a demo. Get the bus. It's free. Big mate Dan Sculler's here. Hello, mate. It's been a long time. Right. So one of this does bring up a point about shows. John and I, we started to try and get to shows more, just sort of say hello and stuff. But if we went to a show to do something, what would we do? We get a table and just sell mugs and t-shirts, but I don't think anyone would be really that interested in that.
No,
what would you like us to do at a show? Just have like a photo booth so you can like touch John in his special place, get a photograph of it.
A live talk show.
That.
You know, did you get to play on the Epic board? We did get to play. We weren't playing very wholeheartedly. We just put millions of models down, especially tanks, and pulled dice out of the bag until the time ran out. Sub says he'd like to see us do cosplay. All right. It's just one to think about because we rather than just sort of turning up, and wandering around, what could we do? I mean, we could try and run a demo game, but a lot of people do that. So yeah, next picture then. So this is a little bit of embarrassment for me. Why is this embarrassing, Jam?
Still not painted?
Because it's still not even primed, mate.
Yeah.
John took them photos tonight.
Yeah. That's not from the archive.
I mean,
It's not-
I can't
it's not
say
okay.
anything. I mean, I haven't painted much, but yeah,
Yeah, man.
So
at least you
said-
still have him. You haven't binned him, so that's all right.
no, it's beautiful. I said to Jam last time he was on that I really don't like the priest models in relation to the Space Wolves. They just don't look at all Space Wolfy. And he's a kitbash guy, so I said, could you make one up for us? And he has. So what you've got here, I think it does showcase your work really well. Oh, Jam, if I may. So,
That's why I didn't spray it, if I'm honest.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I believe that.
So this obviously this is mostly made out of regular parts.
Yeah.
But you've made all this fur here, and if you just cut into that with a knife or a sculpting tool, then or how have you made that fur?
Well, the fur is actually from a Green Stuff World. They've got like a texture plate.
Right.
So, I mean, you can sculpt fur if you want, but if you want to do like an entire army of Space Wolves, I'd just buy that texture plate from Green Stuff World. Go buy it right now. It's the best thing ever. Just it's
Right.
not ready. And obviously, I go in with a hobby knife, and obviously, like the edges are tatted up, so I'd use like a hobby knife and a tweezers sometimes to like pull sections
Pull
out.
it.
Yeah, and I'll go with the hobby knife until maybe make some details pop out a little bit better and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a good way to get fur done nice and quick.
But it's the extra, like you've wrapped something round the horn as well. You know, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a nice job there. It's not lazy work. You know, you're not just put a bit of fur in from a roller or anything like that. So that's another close up of the side there. You crammed in all these little details, which I really appreciated. And then this is my favorite bit. You braided his hair and made him a beard.
Epic.
I always feel like when you zoom in, it doesn't look all that great. But I mean, yeah, I'm glad you like it, man. Yeah.
No, but this is a pretty zoomed in picture.
That's so cool.
But it's nice because it showcases to people how you would do it, right?
Yeah, it was also a new technique I've made. Well, it's not really a special technique, more of an easier technique. Instead of just chucking a blob down and sculpting it, I was actually rolling out like really thin sausages to get like the strands of hair. Like I say, it's just an easier way to get more dynamic hair. So maybe not the best looking, but I feel like it gets the job done quite well.
But it looks more like dreads, doesn't it? Rather than
exactly. Yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this, and a little bit embarrassed about the fact that we haven't done anything with it. So that was that one, and now I've closed the screen down by accident. Oops, go back to window. Idiot is very not pro now. That was that. So the next thing up will be then to talk about the more recent one that you've done.
Yeah.
So look at this bad boy here. You just made a video on this. Some of our viewers may have seen this.
Yeah.
So what have we got here then?
That is my Chapter Master Velrak conversion. I almost didn't say his name right there. Like I was talking to you before the shows. I actually spoke to Velrak like last year, Christmas time. I spoke to him about making a model because I just wanted to ask him if it was right because he's a bigger YouTuber, so I didn't want to come
He's
across
a
like I was just
YouTuber, isn't he?
Yeah, I didn't want to come across like I was just randomly throwing his name out there because I just thought his homebrew chapter of the Reclaimers of Dawn kind of cool and stuff. So I thought I'd try something like that. And yeah, I've only managed to half a year later actually release the video. But yeah, I was I don't know if you want me to go through like the bits and stuff like
please.
that. But yeah, well, actually the sword part I thought was quite. If you look at the Forge World Rogel Dawn model, it's got a kind of similar sword to that. And I found that on a free STL file because I got a 3D printer last year. So that's actually I know. And first time I tried to actually 3D a part into a kitbash. So that was a bit of a learning curve. So obviously resin snaps and is like print lines and stuff like that. But yeah, first time using that. The rest of it is just from, I think the body's an Eradicator, the arms from an Aggressor, just bits from like Tor Garridan and stuff like that. And yeah, just a bit of green stuff on the Orc skull. But yeah, I thought the sword was the most important part with the 3D printing and everything. So I don't know if, I'm sure there's a sword similar to that in GW's models, but I just couldn't find it. So,
Nah.
But that's big though, right? That's more like the one that then,
yeah, that's the Viscerator style. Yeah, double two-handed kind of thing going on there. Which,
chainsaw.
Funnily enough, because I kit bashed this up last year, and because because they're always releasing a new Primaris Captain every year. There wasn't one with a sword and a storm gauntlet, whatever those things are called. I was just gonna wing it, and but now they've released one. I think he's got the fist gun thing and a sword now, so it is actually I can use it as that now. So it's actually got rules, which it previously didn't. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the thing about Games Workshop though, is they seem to be obsessed that every little detail has to have a rule. If a model doesn't have an STC pattern bolter, then it must have a unique rule.
Yeah.
It can't just be a bolter.
Well, actually, I think I'm lying. I think when the Dark Imperium box came out, I think that captain had the same loadout. So it might be talking. No, actually, no. I think the new version has the chainsword as well. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Because because I was thinking about a sword for a second. No, the new version of the captain has a chainsword. So that's what I'm actually talking about. But yeah, I do kind of miss the. I mean, I haven't been in the hobby forever, but I do miss the older days where there were data sheets for things that they didn't sell, which allowed you to kit bash and do what you want. But now it's like, if we don't make it, there's no rules for it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So obviously, me being a kit bash, I have to do a lot of what's the opposite to WYSIWYG? WYSIWYG. You know what I'm saying? Just,
proxying.
Proxy. There we go. So I couldn't find the word there, but yeah, I have to do a lot of proxying with my conversions these days because ruler cool is the most important thing, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. So when you're doing a kit bash, then what's the this you've got a Valrak there, and one of the things that marks him out as Valrak is obviously he's got his Imperial Fists shield still on there, but this is actually part of a bigger project that you've been running, right?
Yeah, you mean the whole Death Watch thing I'm doing?
Yeah.
It's basically, I started off as calling it like the Community Kit Bash project or something like that when I started out. I was just like I mean, I did it for you guys.
This one was me and John.
Yeah, like YouTubers and people of the community, and just like, I mean, I did one of a guy on my Discord channel. He helped me out a lot with my homebrew Space Wolves and stuff. So we made a model together, and it's just basically a way for me to build up a really unique army. And obviously, Death Watch is the best way to actually use it one day. So my goal is eventually to have an entire army of every single model being extremely kit bashed up, if you know what I mean, and they all relate to a person or a channel or something like that. So it's going to take a very long time, but one day I'll hopefully have a pretty cool looking army. So I mean, to be fair, I've got some of the stuff right next to me now, but yeah, one day it'll be an army if I actually get around to painting it all.
You can do it.
Yeah, I think
it's a super meaningful force as well, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Originally, I thought it was like, okay, I'm doing all these kit bashes. I was thinking of maybe selling them on afterwards, like putting them up on eBay or something. But I kind of like the idea of keeping them. In a few years down the line, I'll have an extremely unique force. Yeah, and like I said, like each model will be someone or a video that I've done or something like that. So it'll be pretty cool in the end, I feel like. So yeah,
and it's super flattering, right? For us to know that we're in your force, that's quite
yeah. Well, I mean, I like I said, it'll be quite cool. One day I'm gonna, if I get onto the table, I'll be like, well, there's Kaiser and like Johnny B and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like just running across the table.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we keep going on about is we're trying to play more campaign games now, because we've realized that once you start naming the characters and remembering the names of the characters from one battle to the next, you actually start to care about whether they live or die, and they develop stories of their own by being just chumps or whatever else. You pay the points for the model, but it turns out that this particular one seems to be defective. We've really enjoyed that aspect of the game, and so we're going into doing far more campaigns.
Yeah, I mean, I've always preferred I don't know, would you say a more narrative style of playing?
Yeah.
It's like that's one of the things I've been kind of interested in starting Kill Team, because first of all, as a person that likes to kit bash, it gives me a reason to kit bash a lot of stuff and actually use it. Because even though like sometimes I think, oh, I'll just make something for YouTube, I actually like to have a use for the stuff I make. I don't just want it sitting around. So, and also Kill Team, I feel is a bit more like an RPG vibe to it. You can really customize each dude to like be a character. So I mean, I think I've posted up before. I'm in the process of making a video of a little kill team I got. So I've got like this this guy here is going to be a flesh terror. Like I said, I've got a lot of.
Oh, let me put you on a big screen, Jim.
Yeah, it's all prime, so you can't really see it that well. But like I said, this guy's going to be a flesh terror in my kill team. Also part of my death watch, of course. But yeah, I've got a few of these guys. I got this guy. I think he's a raptor. He's going to be my like plasma sniper specialist. I don't know what the rules are anymore, but like I said, I'm just kind of building up a bit more of a narrative thing, and especially with Death Watch, you can build up guys from all different chapters. I mean,
I'm not actually sure if Death Watch are in there.
Yeah, Death Watch is in the new kill team, and they get all the so you can get all like the cool different weapons and stuff. I'm obviously putting them on Primaris bodies. Yeah. So I think that's I don't know what army that is, Fire Lords or something like that. And yeah, just like I say, these aren't based on any people or YouTube things. It's just a little kill team I wanted to get together because, like I said, I feel like it's something I could get behind compared to like massive army building and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean
I haven't played it, by the way, so I don't know how it plays or how good it is, but narratively it kind of speaks to me, but I'll have to see when I actually play it.
Yeah. I'm really going off 9th edition. I just don't find myself enjoying the games anymore. They're too much like hard work.
Yeah, which
is a shame because I've got lovely armies for it and scenery. Yeah. I don't know about you, John.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been sort of a top-end competitive player in any of the editions, but I've enjoyed most of them. But 9th edition, I'm actually struggling to even enjoy, even with the freedom of playing it however we like. I'm finding it difficult. The wording of the rules and stuff like that is frustrating for me personally to read. It doesn't make any sense in my head, and that hurts because I've grown up with 40k. You know, it's my game, but it's not at the moment. Let's put it that way. But models are still beautiful, and I'm still collecting various things, mainly nostalgia armies than anything else. But yeah, I mean, James, do you get a chance to do any hobbying at the moment? I know you're a very busy man, but what's your take on 9th?
Not a huge amount, no. I said the exact same thing to the Kaiser earlier. 9th edition isn't my game. I think you just put it perfectly. It used to be my game, like Warhammer has been my entire life, mostly. But no, it's just not for me anymore. And the fact that the Horus Heresy's just had a reboot, and Kaiser said on the way in, it's sort of being sold as like the simpler game now.
Yeah.
Which is just ridiculous to me. That the 7th edition is the easier game to get into. Because it was taken down because it was too complicated, wasn't it? And like the Horus Heresy was there as like almost a leftover of that edition. And I've just kept the rules and I want to play it still. I want to play Horus Heresy. I don't want to play 40k. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you guys, why is it? Because I've been pretty disconnected. I play a little bit of 8th and obviously 9th between having a kid and lockdowns in the beginning. I haven't played a single game. I haven't even read books. I've just not cared at all. I just haven't had the time. So is it just rules bloat or what is it? Because I think the general consensus I see online is it's just too, are they catering too much to like tournament players or?
Yes, but that's a perfect business model. because they get to sell armies every sort of other month. There's a new meta every sort of other month or every month, even bloody every week sometimes, it feels like. So from a sales perspective,
it is
it is as well. Yeah,
that's my fundamental issue. I could cope with it with the hyper competitiveness of it because you can change you can change what you're doing in the way you play at home, but you can't change the amount of rules there are. You know, it's hard to ignore that. You can say we're not going to play that supplement, and that'd be fine if the supplements didn't both correct imbalances of the existing set and create new ones. So it's very hard to just sort of leave part of it behind as a module because some of the forces that you might play might really rely on those subcomponents to have a chance.
Yeah, I think an argument I've kind of made on both sides for stuff like that is they release all these supplements and stuff, but doesn't mean you actually have to listen to them. But on the other side of that, for me personally, I'm not even close to a tournament player, but I like to have things that are what they are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if there's new rules out, I don't want to ignore them. You know what I mean? Like, if that new rules are out, that is what the game is. If you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I look at it like, well, obviously you can see it on both sides. You can just be like, well, I'm not just going to ignore the supplements, but a lot of people don't. They want to have the game the way GW intends it to be played, I guess. But like I said, I'm very disconnected, so I'm probably not the best person to be talking about it, I guess. So, but yeah.
No, I mean, up until the new edition that's just come out, that's Horus Heresy. There's all of it.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing something outside of the Space Marines, there's the whole thing, and it's a great game. I still play it. I still love to.
Yeah, that's another question I'd lead into here. With the Horus Heresy coming out, are you guys jumping in? What legions are you going for? How's that? What are you planning?
I'm risque.
Guessing that's a no.
There's no's all around.
We're trying to behave here, Jam.
Come on, guys. Come to the dark side.
I've got a big Death Guard army, so I'm ready to go if anybody else.
You're all set. You're all ready. I would like to do another Legion, and I was thinking of Iron Warriors, mainly because my brother's working on Imperial Fists right now, so like I like the pairing up. You know, they're the dudes that beat the Fists, and you know, I think that'd be good. But is it realistic? I really doubt it. You need hundreds of Marines for this game to work, as far as I'm aware. And, you know, it's taken me 2 decades to paint nearly 50 old school Ultramarines. So
and that's the thing, John's kit bashing RTB01 rug, you know, first edition plastic beakies. And now you can get full size beakies.
Yeah, I'm going to cry. And they look all right as well.
You're not going to do it all over again. I mean, I've looked at it. I've looked at it a couple of times and thought most of my armies are Marines. I've never been that attracted to Games Workshop Xenos. They just don't do it for me. Orcs maybe, but like with the Imperial Guard, I realized that Warhammer is not a game I want to play a Horde army in.
No,
I really don't. I want to play, and something I should have learned from James a long time ago, and didn't, is James tends to play big fat models. I've got a third as many models as you. My game is easy.
Less brain stress.
Each dice I roll is worth 3 of yours, and I can keep it all in my head at once.
Yeah, that's where I like to play as well.
You know, and I think. Yeah, but I think that the problem with that is I don't like the aspect of it that feels like you're hero gaming, but I like the player experience of your army being simple to use. My army is a smaller number of models that just barrels into yours and does its thing. So that armies like Tower...
Successfully or not.
Yeah. But armies like Tower or Imperial Guard have some appeal to me, but to play them is a lot of work. There's a lot of dice that don't do very much, you know, and it's like I need to move away from that.
Yeah, I remember when oh sorry, Carol.
No, you go, Jim.
I don't know. So when I got back into the hobby, when Age of Sigmar first dropped, I picked up I had like a, what were they called back then? Just the skeleton dudes, like the death rattle or something like that. And yeah, I had loads and loads of skeletons, and there's just first of all, moving them around on the table was a nightmare, and all the little spears and stuff. But then I think at one point, because they were really reliant on buffing, at least back then, I was throwing at one point like 120 dice or something like that a turn.
Yeah.
And I was just there like counting them out. I was like, I can't do this. And I went straight over to ogres where I had 10 models. I was like, yeah, I'm not into the whole horde thing. It looks cool. It's fun to like kind of play in some ways, but no, it's too much strain on the brain for me. I can't handle that. I'm there counting the dice like, oh, did I miscount that? And,
yeah, it's... Yeah, when the game becomes a sub game because of its mechanics, it's not good. It's not good.
It's gone wrong.
It's gone wrong.
Yeah, with I think Horus Heresy. Obviously, I've been swept up in the hype as well. I think I'm getting the box for my birthday coming up this weekend and stuff. Weirdly, really.
Oh, I think we all want it.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know, John. You want it, right?
I could do with the Spartan.
Of course.
I don't need everything.
Who doesn't want Leviathan Dreadnoughts and 1,000,000 Marines? And all the cool new tanks. But
yeah.
Am I going to do it?
No, that's like, to be honest, I was hyped up about it, but then I'm kind of like, well, I come on to ease off into, like I said, into maybe like kill teams and something smaller games like that, and then I've jumped the complete opposite direction where I need like 500 Space Marines now and a semi-complex rule system. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I've done the opposite of what I wanted to do, but I've got it now, and I'm still trying to pick my Legion, to be honest. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go yet, but yeah, it's another thing. It's going to take me
40 Marines in the box?
Yes, 40 standard. Is it not? Yeah, was it 30 standard Marines, 10 Terminators? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a 1,500 point game in that box by the looks of it to me.
Yeah.
That's
with
a small game of Horus Heresy, but
yeah. And with the new improved
like
paint
2.5 or something like that. Well, like, what's the optimal point system for Horus Heresy?
You normally
like
want to play 2.5 to 3-ish.
Yeah, that's what I heard. You. Well, there's going to be a lot of kid bashing for me, I guess, depending on the Legion I take. But yeah.
Yeah, you see, this was my problem with Warhammer. Commissar training squads, human bombs, and penal legion. That's exactly the army I want to play, but it's really time-consuming to play an army like that.
Yeah.
An army full of junk in 40k is a tough gig to play. Yeah, the Horus Heresy, for anyone that doesn't know, is something like a £200 box, and it's another one of these, like, by Warhammer's own standards, it's incredibly good value. It isn't good value.
Oh, no,
but by Warhammer standards, it is. And of course, to help the sales, everything in it can be used in the modern version of the game as well as the Heresy era stuff.
Unless you're a Chaos Space Marine player, at which point they've missed some rules there.
Yeah. You're a different kind of Chaos Space Marine at that point. Yeah. True.
Yeah, I think when you think about things, it wouldn't like material to value, like if you say, oh, it's just a pile of plastic, it's definitely not worth £180,
and it isn't, like, except that's the hobby we're in.
Yeah, but like I say, for what GW's prices, it's a massive deal for what you get, I guess. But yeah, I don't know, that like I always say the argument to the hobby being expensive is people buy a PlayStation game for 50 quid, they play it for 20 hours and it's done, whereas you buy a big box of models, you're building, painting, and you can play it for the rest of your life. So it's not that bad. Obviously, like I say, in GW terms, it is expensive, but what you actually use it for, it can be pretty cheap, I guess, in that way. I don't know.
I mean, that is the theory, that you buy them and you make them and paint them. But in reality, we buy them, we look at them for a few minutes and then put them under the bed.
Like I say, in an ideal world, we actually buy, build, paint, and play a model. Yeah, unless you're like me with cupboards full of stuff. But yeah, that's the way we are, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
It's an interesting thing around because value it's all about perception of value, right?
Oh yeah.
So how much something is actually worth is how much people feel it's worth rather than how much it's worth.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll give you a good example. So I've worked in libraries most of my adult life, public libraries. And when I was working in the late 90s, there was a lot of people who were heavily into music to like just experience different types of music, especially world music and things like that, would regularly come into the library and borrow CDs. So they didn't have to buy them. They buy them so the people are going to listen to it once and then move on, like to try everything. Yeah. Right. So people felt it was reasonable to pay 50p to borrow a CD for a week. Does that seem reasonable to you, James?
Yeah.
Yeah, John?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Except, let's think about this for a moment. That seems reasonable, except a hardback non-fiction book costs 25 to 30 quid, and that's free.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But people wouldn't pay 50p to borrow the book.
Mm. Yeah, it doesn't really make much sense that way. Yeah.
And people would pay £1 or £2 or even a £5 to borrow a video. And videos at the time were like a tenner. CDs were about 18 quid and books were 25 to 30 hardback books. So where's the perception of value? It's really interesting how that works. You know, when you come to think about that. I just lived through an example where the cheapest thing to buy was the thing that people would pay most to borrow.
Yeah.
As in videos.
Yeah, so like I was talking about something similar there. It's like, you know, Domino's Pizza. First of all, I feel like they're extremely overrated, but the amount of money, because I mean, I work in kitchens and stuff like that, so I kind of know, but the amount of money it takes them to make that pizza for how much they sell it, they make it like 1,000% profit on that thing. And it's like, and pizza, people just love it. They just like, they're the biggest place around. I'm like, it's just ridiculous amount of money you pay. Like, obviously, people put this value on this thing, but it literally costs them nothing to make. It's like, it's crazy. Yeah. But it's the same thing as every company, really. It's just the way things are.
Perception of value. It's an interesting thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to talk about overrated, mate? Overrated is Nando's. People are fussy about Nando's, and it ain't nothing special.
No.
So, you can get corn on the cob. Yeah, mate. There's a reason why you don't normally eat it. It's not all that. That's why, mate.
No, definitely overrated, yeah.
Yeah, Nando's overrated.
Nando's overrated. You heard it here, mate. You heard it here. John,
Nando's
overrated, yes or no?
All right, discourse of food.
You're not going to be drawn in on this. You're not going to comment that Nando's is overrated.
As you say, it's perception, isn't it? So I like me some chicken. I like me some smashed potatoes. I like me some wild red chicken rice. I'm all in. Perception's good.
You're pro Nando's. James, Nando's overrated.
I don't go to Nando's. I've been like 3 times. I didn't think it was very good.
No.
Jam?
Average to below average, I reckon.
Average to below average. There you go.
Them's fighting words.
Them is fighting words, my friends. Yeah. Right. So, there's Nando vouchers that I've got. I'll can them now.
I like how we went from Horus Heresy to chicken in like space of 5 minutes. Yeah.
It is very similar, especially if you're talking about Isfan 4 or 5 or 6 or whichever one that got new.
Yeah, there's a lot of roast going on there.
Yeah, there's a lot of roast going on there. So I can see the thing, you know.
Yeah.
Last set of pictures. Look at this, John.
That's boring. I've literally, the people have already seen me drop that on my desk and on the floor, and it's kind of worthless now. But yeah, look, I've got some walls, and that's why it fell, because I've put a non-load-bearing magnet. The only reason I put them in there is because the corner pieces don't.
Weak-ass magnets.
Well, they are weak-ass magnets, but it's just to stop them from jiggling about, because they don't actually connect to the wall section with any sort of fitting. So I was like, how can I? Because we're clumsy as hell when we're playing. Not that we're going to play 40k ever again, but for Kill Team, especially with a single model,
where there's a lot of scenery.
Yeah. Hopefully, it will stop us from hooning it across the table. But we'll see.
Yeah, they'll work in 6 months when we're playing some Horus Heresy.
Well, yeah,
You have to bring
true.
both armies, James, for me.
Yeah.
But I'd do it. So we should maybe do that if you've got some free time in the summer.
Oh,
John, tell us,
yes.
tell us how you've gone about doing this, because this seems like it's following a philosophy I'm really fond of in scenery.
Mate, it's one that you've come up with. Oh, it's all gone horribly wrong now. One of the magnets was in backward.
Oh, mate, rookie mistake.
Classic.
Be like your helicopter, mate. I'll take it out, and then the piece would just disappear.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think it's all right. No, we're good. We're good. It's a really simple method, and you stole it from a dude. And you can go back through you can go back through the Modeling for Advantage video selection and find how Kaiser painted his plasma thermic conductor thing.
Antipodean guy. What's Sonic Hedgehog or something?
Sonic Hedgehog. Right.
Sonic the Hedgehog is a different thing.
Really simple, and it's a good sort of ethos of painting terrain. As Kaiser goes back, terrain, it's good to look nice. We need it. We want it to look nice, but it's not so good if it's better than the miniatures that are playing on the table. So this is a real simple one.
Yeah.
It's black. It's dry brush Mornfang. I actually cheated on this one. I rattle canned it with some Halford's camo brown on some other one, and then dry brushed it with Mornfang. And and then you put a bit of silver on it. You pick out one or two details. Yeah, these kits are loaded with them, right? But you just pick out one or two details.
I think they start the colours. They can start to get too busy if you paint all of the Aquilas and mech symbols and so forth. I think they look better if you leave some of them.
Yeah.
I guess it's the same kind of theory as you don't want your base of your miniature to draw the attention away from the actual model. So
yeah.
Well, you might not, but my bases are probably better than my miniatures.
I do like a good bit of basing, to be fair.
Our basing is 50% of the work for me. That's going to make it look okay.
The basing is what tells the story, I guess.
Yeah, true. So that's it. This is one section, one part. This is the STC. Garden standard template construction garden walls for Space Marines that wish to grow cabbages in their domain.
So this is what came with the new Kill Team Nakmund and in that new sector frontier.
Moloch,
right?
Moloch,
not Nakmund. Yeah. So as much as we're ragging on 40k, we still enjoying Kill Team. Well, I am anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys playing a lot of Kill Team then? Because that's something I've been wanting to get into myself. So.
There's a few videos for you to watch and giggle at and laugh at. I'm still not sure we've actually got out of 3 or 4 games. I'm not convinced we've got the hand-to-hand combat system down yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
It's such a bizarre game. So at first glance, you look at it and thinking, I don't want to do this, or I did because I really
I did as well. But
it's like none of this is familiar. All the rules are different.
Yeah, and then, like all the shapes and stuff now, don't they?
Yeah, triangle, circle, and none of it makes any sense. Triangle is not 3, square is not 4. It could have been, but they didn't want to do that because they like to keep you on your toes. And then you get and then you're like saying, "Oh no, I'm going to give it a go." And then you open the rule book, and it's like, "Oh God, this is written in Aramaic or something." Yeah. You read the paragraph 3 times and still not really sure what it meant.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I phased out for a minute there. Are we talking about 7th edition again?
No,
yeah.
Guilty. But if you persevere with it, actually the mechanics are quite simple. The problem is it's got all these like tournament written rules around when you're in cover and when you're obscured. But actually, for all the reasons that Kill Team was good before, it's like you can have a customized little squad of guys, and you're talking about the new Space Marine teams in the expansion sets. They're only 6 guys.
Yeah.
The vanilla ones in the core book are 5, I think, or you can have 10 scouts. But they've done some good things to deal with balance. my favorite, although each model can only activate once, the number of actions it gets can vary. So that means your custodian guard dudes get 3 actions rather than 2, as well as being the super monster. But then there's also an Overwatch function, which means if the other guy, it's not really Overwatch, it's like I can't move or do objective type stuff, but I can take an extra shot in the other guy's turn if he's got a lot more models than me. There's a kind of as an anti-horde mechanic. And you can see that playing out really well in the last game John and I played. I took the Nurgle Demons, and he had Space Marines with bolt pistols and chainsaws, and he slaughtered me. And twice as many guys, but he shot me up and then stabbed me up, mate. It was awful.
Oh, I guess that's law friendly. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess. Space Marines actually did stuff.
Yeah, they actually behave like Space Marines, weirdly.
Yeah, I think so. Any other recommendations for chat accompanying eating?
Elaborate.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Duncan? You mean places you shouldn't eat and things you shouldn't pay for?
Oh.
Mate, I have got a pro tip as somebody who once ate a Japanese meal in a Japanese restaurant. I thought that salty soup was bean curd, mate. Turns out those dirty bastards eat whale semen, and they fed it to me.
Well,
oh, nice.
You don't want that. You don't want that.
I thought you would have figured it out, but
familiar
on the
flavor.
list of things that this soup might have contained in my mind.
Yeah, it's not what you expect when you go to a restaurant.
Whale
is it not?
semen, bro.
Nope.
That's the first thing I expect.
Did you try a bit of that when you went to Japan, James?
Well, I didn't check the list of ingredients, so yeah, probably. I mean, not too worried. It'd probably be. It was nice, whatever it was.
Yeah. What do you think tropic tapioca is made of? You didn't cement that into your diet. Well, I expect if it was a generous helping. Who knows? Who knows? Whales are a pretty big animal, though, right? We've drifted somewhat off topic because I'm still bruised by it. I didn't realize for months later I'm chatting with somebody about what this was. Yeah, what, that restaurant there? But yeah, no, that's whale semen.
Who was it? Who was it who told you that? Because that might be some questionable information.
And I kind of have a rule of thumb. If it does not really that tasty and you have to work really hard to get it, maybe just don't eat it. You know what I mean? Like, are you swimming through the ocean catching whale semen? I mean, just like, come on now. You just don't do it.
Yeah,
somebody worked really hard
sperm whale for a reason. Yeah, that's a job there, right there. Whale semen collector. Yeah. Right. So, Japanese, they're different to us, mate, in ways that you're not ready to expect. What are we talking about? STC pattern ruins and Jams kit bashes. Should we? I think I've run out of pictures, so I think we're stuck with.
I think we've devolved from that a long time ago.
It's not how I envisage things panning out, if I'm being brutally honest.
Yeah, I think
and it's my own fault.
Yeah. How do we move on from that, man?
James, let's do it. Worst thing you've ever eaten.
Oh my God, what are we doing?
10 minutes ago. Come on, let's do it.
So I had some barbecue wings at a Thai restaurant once, and they were the hottest thing I've eaten in my entire life. I cried basically throughout the entire experience. I was eating those wings. I was not quitting.
You paid for them.
I did finish them.
Yeah.
I'd paid for them, but geez, that was just pain. It was just pain chicken. It was not worth it.
Pain chicken.
Pain chicken.
What about you, Jan?
Me?
Yeah, come on. You're a culinary man. Surely you've had some
chef,
terrific.
I I mean, it's difficult because I mean, my wife is Chinese, and I've been to China, and there's a lot of funky stuff there. To be honest.
Oh
Right,
my
so
God!
You've
Yeah,
eaten crow's feet and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and also I'm from Africa, so we got some funky shit there too. But
yeah, but it's mainly just like salted dried meat, right?
yeah, I mean that's the good stuff. But
Oh,
yeah, I remember once I was in this little countryside place in China where they were like steaming tofu in a barrel outside, and when I ate it, it just tasted like rubber and plastic. I don't know what they were like.
I tasted of what he was cooking.
Yeah, and I was just like, I actually felt like I was gonna throw. I felt like I was like eating like petrol tasty tofu or something. That was pretty disgusting. And quite near to where my wife's house is in China, there's a road I always walk past, and it just smells like feces.
nice.
And I'm always like, what is that smell? And apparently it's some sort of stinky tofu again that they make, and I've refused to eat it. I've never eaten it, but it smells like
shit.
it actually smells like shit. So I'm just like, I haven't eaten it, but
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing that. But yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I think petrol-y, plastic, rubber tofu and shit smelling tofu is up there. So
It's got shit. Tofu that smells of shit is pretty up there.
yeah,
I'd
if it
say.
smells like feces, I'm just gonna maybe give it a skip, you know.
And
I'll
you
stick
didn't
to
look
my
at that
chicken wings or something.
It's not in a peanut sauce. It's like, nah.
No, I'm good, thank you.
John, worst thing about
Brilliant.
eating.
Nando's.
The worst thing I've ever eaten. Something I actually tried to make once. That's the worst thing I've ever eaten. Rosie turned, before she was vegan, she was vegetarian. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to be kind. I'm going to prepare us a really shit meal because that's what I'm like. So I tried to do some sort of 5-bean salad. I got all the things. I put it in the thing, the turny-whirly collared thing, and I added some lemon juice to it. And I thought, this is going to be the fucking shiz, man. And it just tasted like freshly cut grass. It was pretty good. Like, it was wrong. So yeah, so I don't do anything with food. That was pretty grim.
Yeah, right. Any tips for us, Jam, as a cooking bro? Can tell us something that we probably never tried that we really should.
Well, to be honest, I mostly do baking right now, so I'm pretty sure everybody's eating cake. So I can't really think of anything.
I don't think people need advice on that one yet.
Once or twice.
Yeah, no, something that nobody's tried. I can't really think of anything right now, to be honest.
Any weird mixtures of ingredients, like odd stuff?
I don't know. Everything I've made is pretty standard stuff. There's nothing too crazy out there, so I'm sorry to disappoint on this one. But I can't tell you of anything too crazy.
That you were going to tell us that like sheep's testicles are actually really nice or something like that.
I mean, I'll tell you, snake tastes pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of bones in it, but it tastes quite nice. It's like a really dry sausage. It's like a sausage and a fish.
You're not
made
smelling
of
it, mate.
I'm in, mate. I'm
It's not
down
as bad
for
as
that.
it sounds. I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to eat it, but yeah, it's all right.
Right.
Yeah.
If you had to, it's not so bad. It's not so bad.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not the worst thing in the world.
Otters
Guys,
nosy.
Ended on a rather peculiar note there. So the question came up earlier, as I say, as John and I, but also I know Wooly Mike goes to a lot of shows as well. We're going to try and get out there a little bit more. But if you were going to bump into us at Salute, what would you like to see? Would you like us to take a demo game down? What would we do when we're there?
A live game. A live game would be pretty cool. Just the two of you jamming out, doing your normal thing, and people can just come along and watch for a bit and go.
Just come along and watch.
I think most people watch your shows for you guys and the banter and stuff. So maybe something along those lines. I reckon.
Absolutely.
A lot of people do those like live podcastings. I don't know how easy that would be to do. Like, a Q&A out in public, but that would be quite difficult to do. But yeah.
But if you do see us at a show, do come over and say hi. It's lovely to meet people. And as Elson, I think he was at the expo as well. I think we bumped into him briefly. Was that right? Or am I mixing that up?
No
Not
idea.
a food stall.
Come and have a nice helping of my 5
We
bean
can do
salad.
blind tasting. Kaiser soup. Fresh batch up this morning.
I think that's a good premise for a new podcast show. Like terrible foods around the world and what you should not eat.
Yeah. That. Now we have, as James before the show, we have passed the dizzy heights, the threshold of 5,000 subscribers. We're very grateful for all the subscribers, the members, and the viewers in general that have got us to this point. It all contributes, it all makes a difference. So tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow, 11:45, the usual Wednesday video time, we are doing our 5,000 subscriber giveaway video. That will be it's only like 3-4 minutes long. There's not loads of patter or anything like that. Watch the video, make the statement in the comments if you want the prize. It is a Hit the Beach starter set from Flames of War. It's a fantastic starter set if you've not seen it. I mean, it's not hugely expensive, but you know, the video will be up there tomorrow and it will be announced. The winner will do the draw on the next live show, which is in 2 weeks' time. And we've got one of the writers from War Games Illustrated.
Hey, very nice.
So I'm going to do that as part of the show while we find out about him. We've actually got a real backlog of product reviews to put out, and I don't really know how to deal with it because I don't just want to like drown you in them. But we still haven't finished all the reviews of the Desert Flames of War stuff because there were so many boxes. We've done the Team Yankee ones, but they're not out yet either. This if you're going to build one of these, the video will be out soon. Have a watch. There's a lot of pitfalls in this, and I tried to do that, but essentially build everything that goes into this part before you attach this bit to it. It tells you very different in the instructions, and you end up trying to get your fingers inside on tiny little bits. Do all of this and all of this, and then just slot it in. If you're going to build one. That's my experience, lesson learned, hard and painful. Final remarks. Where'd you get to with your hobby, John?
Well, they're all mug-nipped together, and I'm just putting some sort of red glow on the lights.
Oh,
just
nice.
nothing special. Nice. It's just some of that. That's where I got to.
How are you doing that, John?
Huh?
How are you doing that? Again, that's kind of dull glow effect.
I'm literally just putting the glazed bloodletter over it and
you just dabbing it on or something.
I'm just swamping the whole area and then roughly doing sort of light sourcing. It really isn't though, but you know, it's all right.
That's good.
Cool. What do you get up to, James?
I made these.
I made
those.
I made these. Yeah, they're snap fit models. They're like 3 pieces each. What about you, Jem?
As always, I'm just enjoying the company, but I managed to get a couple washes down on this dude, as you can see.
Nice.
There.
Get him a
show him again, Jam. Show him again.
Sorry.
Let me see that. Beautiful.
There we go. Just a bit of wash on there. Like I said, nothing too interesting. It's like half a model, but, you know, just too busy chatting. So, yeah, that's me.
Okay.
That's good.
Roxanne, you don't have to turn on the red light. That is a fact.
Yes.
All right. Any closing remarks from anyone? I just want to say thank you, guys, for hitting our 5,000 subscriber mark. John?
Yeah. Same. Ditto. There you go. You're all beautiful people.
James?
Horus Heresy in 3 months. I promise. No, it's not.
Don't take that bet.
Jam?
Yeah, Horus Heresy. No, I'm joking.
3 months.
Yeah, well, congratulations on the 5,000, guys. I know how difficult it can be to grow on YouTube and stuff. So definitely congratulations.
Yeah, all right. Don't rub it in, Jam. You're on
you were there a year ago.
Yeah. No, it is difficult. But yeah, thanks for having me on, of course. I really appreciate it. Like, I know it's been a long time since I've been on or even actually made anything for YouTube. So you guys still consider me to come on. So it's pretty cool. Thank you.
Jam, some guests we have on because they're beautiful. Some guests we have on because they're famous.
You're none of those.
Talented. And some guests
enjoy having you on.
All of those things. Look at that.
Yeah.
Jam, just remind them where they can find you. What's your channel called now?
Jams Mini Mods. So Jams Mini Mods on everything, like Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's where I will be.
If you like Space Wolf kit bashes, if you like Space Marine kit bashes, because a lot of your recent stuff is that not Inquisition. What are they called?
Death Watchy stuff.
Watch. Yeah. Them ones. But a lot of nice kit bashes and a lot of ideas.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been a real pleasure. So, guys, we will see you in a couple of weeks' time for a live show, and obviously, don't forget to follow the 5,000 subscriber video coming out tomorrow morning. Thanks, everyone. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.